So primordial emotions are important. Where they become a problem is where they become owned by the ego. When the ego gets hold of that feeling. If your mind likes to worry, and I could wave a magic wand and get rid of all the things you're worrying about, you'll be back tomorrow, worrying about something else. I've even caught my head worrying what I'd worry about if I had nothing to worry about. It will make shit up. If there are situations you have to deal with, don't deal with them from worry. Because that contains that worry karma. Do you remember Words with Gummidge? I don't remember Words with Gummidge. Yeah, my angry head. You wake up with the angry head on. This is wrong, that's wrong. Bloody weather. The weather's wrong. Bloody weather's wrong. Yeah, I'm angry with the weather. That'll change it. And then before we know who we live in a world full of angry people, don't we? Because we successfully pissed them all off. And they're probably just angry when they're with us. They're fine the rest of the time. But that becomes our world. The most miserable man alive. The poor guy. He started every sentence with, "Oh, bloody terrible." Bloody terrible is. Got to breathe now. In out, in out. But you know what? It really was bloody terrible. That was his world. What he didn't realise was that he created it entirely for himself. Do you see how this works with the ego? And this is how karma operates. Because if we're not conscious, if we're not aware of our thoughts and our emotions, we are condemned to, in the present moment, project a very unhelpful karma into the world. And because we're not very careful, through our unconsciousness, we create hell on earth. So how do we break it? One of the most important ways is to start off and see how you create your own karmic patterns. Now this goes way, way, way back. Now you'd have been collecting this all of your life, all your unconscious actions, all your unwise actions, all your unhelpful, toxic thinking is adding to this body of energetic karma, the shadow within you. But this goes way back. This goes back before you were born. Well, where does your madness come from? I had the great pleasure of spending quite a lot of time with my dear old mum lately. She's sort of quite frail these days, so I look after her quite a lot. And it's oh God, that's where it comes from. It's almost like kind of passed into generations. You know, I know a family that are lovely people, but they're just consumed with guilt. I mean, what the hell they've done, I don't know. I just don't know. But anyone would think they were guilty of some terrible crime. They're lovely people, they're just not like that. What the hell's going on? And it runs through the whole family. I'm guilty. I'm unlovable. I'm no good. These emotions in the body, this karmic field comes back way, way, way before you were born. I discovered something quite interesting about my granddad a little while ago. He was, he didn't marry until his late 30s, which in those days was just unheard of. And I discovered why. You know, he was the eldest son of 12, I think, and was called up into the army in the First World War. And his father was killed in the First World War, and when he came out, he must have had to look after that family. You know, when I look at the sort of his age, he would have stayed single until his youngest sister was able to go into service or whatever those did in those days. And they brought up in the East End of London. They must have been desperately poor. Desperately poor. And a penny dropped. I'm 50 odd. I've eaten every day of my life. I've only slept rough when I was drunk. You know, I've always had what I needed. But I always had this desperate anxiety about not having money. Now, I wouldn't be at all surprised if this wasn't my grandfather's trauma acting itself out 100 years later. And we carry that, don't we? We carry trauma of our ancestors. That great teacher Thich Nhat Hanh says when we're practicing this kind of karma yoga, not only are we healing ourselves, but we're also healing our ancestors. We're healing that karma and all future generations, because through this process we do not then project that onto the next generation and out into the world, our thinking, our actions and our behaviour and our vibration intention.